advice. Come to Ben and Kelly. It's group therapy on 99.7 DJX.
Anna says, hey, Ben and Kelly, hoping you can help me out here with some group therapy. 6 years ago, I broke up with my fiancé because I felt like we were no longer happy together. He never made time for me with a demanding job. I was confident in the decision at the time. And while he was incredibly upset, he agreed to the breakup. Now, at age 40, and after dating numerous other men, I realized this breakup was a huge mistake.
Oof.
He made me much happier than any other partner has since. And I just didn't realize a good thing when I had it. We don't really speak much anymore, but I want to make contact to see if we could rekindle what we had. I'm hopeful I could persuade him that I made a mistake and he was right all along, but that, of course, could be unrealistic. Am I making a mistake trying this? Should I just give up on this man without a fight? Or is it worth it?
Well, Anna, I mean, life is short. YOLO, right? What's the worst that can happen? You say no?
It sounds like she's always going to wonder.
What's the worst that could happen? He says no?
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
I would think that first. What's the worst that could happen? There is a reason you broke up the first time. Maybe
she thought that he wasn't making enough time for her.
Right. Well, maybe he still won't.
That is true.
Maybe his
she
demanding
does need to think about that.
Right. Maybe his demanding job hasn't changed. Maybe it's gotten more demanding in the 6 years since you guys had been engaged. But, beyond all that, I think, why not? You just reach out to him and see what comes of it. Maybe he wants nothing to do with you anymore. And there's your answer,
Yeah, and you got to be prepared for that, too. But you may, again, always wonder if you don't try.
Yeah, Denny kind of piggybacks on what we were saying here on Facebook, says life is short. If he's still single, go for it. Him saying no would be better than a lifetime of not knowing.
Yes. And Russ is like, go for it. Can't live in regret. But Dan's like, can we find out the guy's name? Tell him to run.
All right. Would love to hear your experience with this. Getting back with an ex after several years of being apart. All right. And
Justin is also kind of rolling in a little salty. Heck no, you don't get to just say my bad and take me back.
Well, but I mean, is there something for saying I made a mistake? I want to try this again.
I am married because of that. My husband and I had broken up for a while, and then he came back around and realized what he had in me.
I was going to say,
and was like, hello.
Yeah, Kelly had to make him say, "Listen, you come back to me. You come back to me." Right, exactly.
It can work. I mean, sometimes people, it just takes life experience to really make things more clear for them.
All right, so tell us how your experience went with trying to get back with an ex after being broken up for years. All right, because maybe that could help Anna in her situation, her decision on what she does. 502-571 9970. All right, group therapy. Anna broke up with her fiance 6 years ago because she felt like they were, no longer happy together. He never made time for her with a demanding job. Now that she's dated other men, a little bit older, she realizes maybe I made a mistake and wants to know if she should even risk reaching back out to him and trying things out for a second time.
Now, she had mentioned that she was very confident at the time of their breakup in her decision. And you got to consider, that's with, the feelings she had for him, fresh and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Jessica is pointing that out. Just because he made her happier than anyone else so far doesn't mean she should settle for that level of happiness or unhappiness that caused her to break up with him. I think she needs to do some serious soul searching, make sure she's not settling just because she doesn't want to be single at her age, which I understand. And if she decides she really does want to try again, I don't think it would hurt to reach out just to see.
Kim texted us and said, I reunited with my high school sweetheart after 8 years after the initial breakup. We quickly got married. Then I got to know who he really was.
Uh-oh.
Now, didn't care for him much after 3 months of marriage and had the marriage annulled. Big mistake.
Okay, so maybe we take the time to get to know each other. If you do, reach back out. Elizabeth has a good story. My high school sweetheart and I broke up, didn't speak for about 5 years. He came back around, asked for a second chance. He's made me super happy. So I gave him a chance. We've been married for 2 years now, together for 7.5.
Okay, so that's a success story. I think a lot of people can change in 6 years because I look at, where I am and, Kelly, you can look at where you are now versus 6 years ago. And, you're a different person. Your life has changed. Things that have happened between then and now have influenced you and who you are now as opposed to where you were then. And so I think people can change a little bit, and so maybe there is a shot. Who knows?
Exactly. And Jacqueline said, we were never engaged, but I did reach out to an ex after about 11 years. Wow, told him that I always saw a future for us, and I still see it. I felt a familiarity with him that I'd never felt with anybody else. And I'd always regretted walking away and allowing him to have hatred towards me. To my surprise, he responded basically the exact same way, said he exhibited a lot of the same feelings and actually thought I hated him. So now we're trying to get to know each other again and just see where it goes. But it's been a really nice feeling to see his name pop up on my phone again and know we don't hate each other anymore.
That's okay. That's another success.
Potential. That's ongoing right now. Good luck, Jacqueline.
I was going to say, Jacqueline, keep us posted for sure. Kathleen says on Facebook, try a friendship first.
Yeah.
See if his circumstances have changed. There's no sense in trying to rekindle a romantic relationship if the same problems from before are still there.
Yes. Yeah, she can't ignore, again, the reasons that she initially broke up with him. So if but I don't see any harm. I feel like she will always wonder if she doesn't at least reach back out, see where he's at in life, and just dip your toe in there and just see what happens. Yeah, the saying, looking through rose-colored glasses and time heals all wounds and things like that are around for a reason, because distance and time, that can certainly make things seem better than they were. Yes. Now, but Denny said, listen, this kind of sums it up pretty well. Okay. Life's short. If he's still single, go for it. Him saying no would be better than a lifetime of not knowing. Was he really the one? Right. All right. Well, you've got a lot to think about. That's for sure, Anna. And I go back to what I said originally. And I think, Kelly, you said it originally. And you know what? Hey, what's the worst that can happen? Think, what is the worst that can happen if you get back together with him, or try at least to get back together with him? He says no, or maybe you give it a shot and you break up again. That if you can get past that, then why not? Exactly. And it sounds like you're in a place where, why not? What have you got to lose? You're not currently in a relationship. You're single, and you're always going to wonder if you don't at least take this chance. If nothing else, you're going to end up with your final answer. You're going to close that door for good and be able to be open for finding who you're really supposed to be with. Yep. All right. There you go. Keep us posted. And that is Group Therapy.